Hello everyone, today I am talking about sacred ceremonies. It is one of my favorite things. I'm now considering it one of my specialties because I'm like, wow, a lot is involved in a sacred ceremony. And so I wanted to talk about that today. And there are two different kinds, okay? So there are impromptu sacred ceremonies. Some people call it an appointment with spirit, where you are intuitively led when you just so happen to have a free hour or two in your day through a sequence guided by your spirit guides and your ancestors or whoever is coming through for you to help you through that particular initiation or activation. But today I'm going to be talking about planned ones, okay? So the first thing you need to consider is magical timing. When are you going to have your ceremony? And this goes hand in hand with the theme of your ceremony too. So depending on what you want to accomplish, you should consider the month, day, year, time of day, whether or not it's a solstice or equinox, if you want to align it to a moon phase. There's a book called Wicca and Witchcraft by Denise Zimmerman that is amazing. It's what got my start in all things spiritual. It was recommended to me by my very first mentor, and it's very helpful. It lays out all of the different meanings of the different months and weeks and like years and like days and stuff. So if you want to learn more about that, go ahead and read that. And I'm sure that information is in other craft or Wicca resources as well. But that's very important. Think about that. And like I said, it loops into your intention. So what do you want to accomplish? Is it a cleansing ritual? Is it a like a banishment of a spirit or some type of energy? Or is it a dedication? Is it a protection spell? Or I'm saying the word spell and ritual very loosely. Like I said, ceremony, it's a sequence that you can plan for yourself, lead yourself through to accomplish a specific goal. So what I'm trying to get at here is, what is the goal for you? Think about that. Think about what you want to accomplish with it. And so there is a beginning, middle, and end to how to exactly that. Those were kind of like the alignment / questions to ask yourself section. When it comes to actually planning the ceremony, I'm going to break it into 3 parts of planning it. Not the ceremony itself, but everything that's involved in the ceremonial experience and setting up for it. So you have the beginning, which is the setup and the supplies and the cleanse. So how are you preparing the space? Is there a specific thing that you want to do for your body that will prepare you, whether it's like taking a shower with like a shower steamer of a certain herb, or taking a bath with salt in it, or doing a smoke cleanse in your room. Anything that is like cleansing you, preparing your space or your body, definitely do that in this step before you get into like actually into the ceremony. And then you have supplies and setup. So are you going to be on the floor? Are you going to be sitting at a table? Are you going to be laying down on your bed or on the couch? Where are you going to be? How are you going to do this work, basically? And then supplies. Are there any supplies involved? Is it going to be utilizing candles or cloth or something that makes noise or music, spray, crystals, like anything that you might need? Make sure that you have it laid out for you and set up so that you can take and perform the sequences that you have planned for your ceremony as it's happening. So now we can move on to the middle section, which is like the actual ceremony itself. So the bulk of the most significant part of the ceremony. So once you're all set up, you're cleansed, your space is set in whatever way resonates with you. And so now you can actually perform the steps that you laid out for yourself for this ceremony. And then once it is over, for the ending section here, integrate, feel the energy, meditate in whatever way resonates with you, to feel, to like let your body adjust to the work, basically. And so then after that, you can clean up, kind of put yourself back into the 3D experience, you know, go to work or go see your friend or whatever the rest of your day entails, going like transitioning into that, basically. So now to kind of finish up the video, I'm going to briefly go over as an example one of my ceremonies recently, so that hopefully you can kind of connect all of these steps together and see how it kind of plays out. So I did a dedication ceremony for the new solar cycle, which started April, like the window was like April 21st to April 24th this year. And that is when the sun enters Aries. That's what marks the new solar cycle. And so with this newness, I wanted to redo my dedication, basically, because just as a little brief overview for y'all who might not know, I was baptized Catholic as a baby. And then in middle school, high school-ish time, I was baptized as a Christian, like a non-denominational, modern, you know, hip Christian, right? And then a couple of years later, I dedicated myself to Wicca. And then a couple of years after that, it was Chelonic science. And now it's, I wanted to dedicate myself to more earth-based practices, ancient kind of divine feminine reclamation, sacred sister, ancestral kind of vibe. So with that, remembering my little document here, I typed it out. So I wrote out what I wanted to do, what was involved in all of it. And the first step in it was to, it was a bath ceremony. So I ran the water, and as I was running the water, I actually like stirred it counterclockwise to like cleanse. And then I took different types of Epsom salts. I believe it was a lavender, there was an eucalyptus one. There were a couple different bath salts, and I listed, or I said what each one represented. I called it out, and as I was stirring them in, I stirred it into the water as I was like pouring it in clockwise to kind of charge up the water with that intention and those herbs. And then once the tub was filled up, I sat there outside of it for a little bit, and basically I felt, the way that I wanted this to play out was, I felt the sacred feminine rage in society. I let myself feel for not only myself and my ancestry, but everybody else who's been affected too by collective wounds and trauma and betrayal, like all these kind of layers of separation and destruction that have occurred throughout our collective, throughout history, from different events. And so I allowed myself to feel that. And then I kind of sat with it saying, like, I dedicate myself to healing. I dedicate myself to fully receiving and feeling the sacred feminine. And like, I am seen, I am heard. I dedicate myself to like the deep ancestral earth-based work, basically. And so then I got into the tub, and once I was in the tub, I had another incantation that said, like, I dedicate myself to like work that supports my absolute highest and best and the absolute highest and best for all. Like it was more so when I was outside of the bath, that incantation centered around like feeling the emotions in my body and acknowledging the wounding collectively. And then once I got in the bath, it was more so about me as an individual, like, hey, this is the work that I am doing. I'm passionate about this earth alignment, earth-based practice, divine feminine, like restoring the sacred, basically, and restoring the ancient. And so I said that in the bath, and then in my instructions in my document, I said to like dip my head in the water facing forward and kind of like flip it up so the water would kind of run down the back of my body. And then from there, I set the intention to soak in the bath and release any and all sadness, any and all anger, basically any residues from those emotions that I sat with before getting in the bath. Basically, I released all limitation, all like limiting beliefs, and just anything that was holding me back from fully embodying this, basically, whether it was like fear societally or like, ooh, whatever the case may be. Sorry, there was a wasp that came up to me. My goodness. Fear. We're releasing the fear approached and then it left. Yeah. So, and then after that, I sat with myself, and once I felt like I was done, I got out of the bath. I drained the water, and then I kind of cleaned up and went about my day. So, yes, that is the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions at all, or if you want to talk to me about a ceremony that you did that you loved, I would love to hear about it down in the comment section. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.